Continue the Quick Start tutorial series with Video 5, Running Processes. Functionality that was covered in the previous Quick Start videos will be reviewed as part of this video demonstration, using the InsightEarth User Interface, loading data, creating processes using the workflow guide, and manipulating the 3D display. The Teapot Dome project is currently open in InsightEarth, and the project name is shown in the title bar. Load volume data from the project into InsightEarth by selecting File, then Load File, and then left-click on the volume name, filtmig.tvol, and select Open. The volume appears in the data list in the Volumes category, and a time slice is shown in the 3D display. To create a process, select Workflows from the main menu, and then Workflow Guide. Previous work in this project indicates that the Remove Coherent Noise step is the next required step to perform within this interpretation goal, as shown in the current state of the workflow guide. For this brief example, the Trim Mute Zone substep will be skipped, as it is suggested but optional. The next required substep and process is Create Horizon Orientation Volume. Select the Create Horizon Orientation Volume process and press Create Selected Process. The newly created process appears in the process network. To attach data to the process, left-click on the volume name in the data list and drag it onto the Process's Input tab. Two warnings about dead trace length appear, one at the Process's Input tab, and a second window appears after releasing the left mouse button, which attaches the volume to the process. Warnings are not a regular occurrence in InsightEarth, but are provided in specific instances to assist with obtaining the best results. The second window explains why setting the dead trace length is important and how to set it. Press OK to dismiss the window. Select the input volume's name in the data list to reveal its properties in the Properties Inspector. Notice the current value of the dead trace length parameter, shown as a value of 1. The dead trace length is defined as the number of consecutive time or depth samples which have the same value. Hovering the mouse pointer over the parameter will cause an InsightEarth tooltip to appear, which will briefly provide information about its use. Modifying the dead trace length value will alert InsightEarth to mask out repeating dead or null samples. This is highly recommended in seismic data where irregular survey boundaries appear and/or mute zones exist in the shallow portion of the data, as it will prevent undesirable edge effects in future interpretation workflows. For this volume, set the dead trace length to a value of 15 and select Apply. InsightEarth detects and masks samples along any trace which has 15 consecutive repeated values. Left-click in the 3D display to make this window active, and then right-click and select Align to Inline to view the result of applying the dead trace length along the trace. Activate the Horizon Orientation process with a left-click to make its properties and parameters active in the Properties Inspector. For this example, do not modify the default parameters and select Run. A green progress bar shows the progress in the Properties Inspector, and the title bar of the process turns yellow and also shows a progress bar, which indicates that execution has begun. InsightEarth automatically generates the Horizon Orientation output volume in the data list. When the process is complete, both the title bar of the Horizon Orientation process and the progress bar become green. By default, Horizon Orientation results do not automatically appear in the 3D display. To view the process output and toggle between the input and the output volumes, left-click in the 3D display and use the Tab or V keys to alternate the display between the two volumes. Horizon orientation volumes are used in multiple places in InsightEarth, including structurally oriented processes and interaction modes, and this structure information can provide a visual representation of strike and dip in the 3D display. As an example, display the horizon orientation volume and use the Data View option in the Properties Inspector to change the view to be volume dip. Look closely at the volume names in the data list. The input volume had its dead trace length modified, and the output volume was generated by the horizon orientation process. Currently, the names of both volumes are shown in italics, which indicates that these volumes have been either modified or generated and have not yet been saved to disk. Any data in InsightEarth which has not been saved to disk when the program exits will be lost. The next video in the Quick Start series will describe how to save data and sessions.